What's good, everybody? It's your boy Nonpfixion. Come back at you one more time with a brand new review. Um, we're going to talk about Marvel Studios' Black Widow after this.
Nah, this ain't nonsense, this is nonfiction. So excuse if the content is offensive, it's official. Now that we have been acquainted, this is my pleasure, my pain, your entertainment.
All right, you guys. So we're going to take this off. We don't really need that right now. Actually, well, I think I need one for what I was doing. Um, if you're thinking about watching this movie, I'm the one. I'm not the one to tell you guys that you have to go see a movie. But if you are thinking about seeing it, I would suggest to not do the Disney Plus route and actually go to the theater if you can go to a place that you feel comfortable and safe to watch this movie, because there's some scenes in this movie, there's some choreography, there's some set pieces, there's some fight scenes that just look better and look great on the big screen. Um, First, I would say it's been almost 2 years since most of us have been to a movie theater. I would have to say that for me, I enjoyed this movie. I had so much fun watching this movie. I felt like I was back home watching this movie. It started off really good, ended really good. Action sequences were freaking badass on some aspects. Um, the character of Natasha Romanoff, brought to us by Scarlett Johansson, she did her damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't even knock her for the character that she was playing. Um, she's a character that I wanted to see in her own solo film since she was introduced in Iron Man 2. Um, Even though we got it now, and I feel like it's so much later than what we should have gotten it. It almost feels like the movie. I don't want to say a throwaway, but it felt like it's kind of pandering to people because of how we felt at the end of Infinity War. Regardless of that, the movie's fun. Movie's fun. It's entertaining. Like I said, action packed. The movie takes place after Civil War, and of course before Infinity War for this character. Of course, we know in the actual lineage of the MCU, we had several movies before Infinity War, but for this character, it goes from Civil War to this movie to Infinity War. Um, it's the intro. Just start off the intro. Intro was pretty awesome, and the way they put it together, you got this feeling that the movie is a spy movie slash espionage movie. You can kind of equate the intro with the music and some of the shots, the montage, to a Bond film, and I actually didn't. I had no problems with that. I enjoyed that a lot. I like the fact that it was slightly different than other films. That's the reason why I like Ant-Man, because Ant-Man is like, it's a heist film. It's not your typical Marvel film. It's just different. It's slightly different. Um, I know most of the trailers and now that some of the critics come out or reactions coming out saying, "Oh, this is the best MCU film." Is it the best MCU film? In my point of view, no. Is it a good one? Yes. You know what I'm saying? How they portrayed the family aspect of the characters, I liked it. I like how they did it. In the beginning and towards the end, I like what they did with it. I had no issue with it. I had no problem with it. It was good to see how they portrayed the story especially in the beginning, because there's some things you were wondering how they were going to put it together. How are they going to tell the story of Yelena and Scarlett Johansson? And the way they did it, it makes sense and it works straight up. So once again, if you're still on the fence and not sure, watch it in the theater if you really can. If you're able to watch it in theater, please watch it in theater. Now, Disney Plus has done a really great job telling us some good, fun stories with the Marvel series, the Marvel characters. Not taking anything away from any of those shows, especially Loki that we're into right now. We're almost done with, but there's nothing beats the experience of sitting down and seeing a movie on the big screen. Nothing beats that. That surround sound, the smell of the popcorn, the giddiness you get when you hear the Marvel movie roll, the Marvel music. That all that play comes to fruition and plays into this the whole feeling. And the reason why, if you can go and you feel comfortable going, you should go. Seriously, you should go. Um, I would say there are in the story. I'm trying to get it together without really spoiling things. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I know we're still in the first weekend, so I don't want to spoil that. But the way they portray Yelena and Natasha's relationship as the story is going along, it fits. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate what they did. Now, the characters that's played by David Arbor and freaking, excuse me, Rachel Wise, yes and no. Like it's like a 50-50 between those two. More so towards David Harbour, who plays Alexei, aka the Red Guardian. Now, the way he's portrayed, it's much later in time. Unlike Captain America, who is his technical super soldier counterpart, um, he wasn't frozen in time. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't frozen. And of course, we know that his version of the super soldier serum is not as powerful as Steve Rogers, and it's very different. It's a different version, and so because of that, we know that his aging is different. Cap ages much slower than he does, and of course, when we catch up to him in this story, he's been away, and he's older, and of course, the body shows that. We see the trailers, see him putting the suit on, we can tell that he's not the same person he was 15, 20 years before. You know what I'm saying? So in that aspect, I didn't have any issues with that. My main issue that I had with him was how they wrote some of his scenes. There were some opportunities for him to have some deep moments and some quality moments shared with the other characters, and they kind of take away from that because they make him the butt of some jokes, and the jokes they work. You know what I'm saying? But that was an opportunity for the story and the writing to go a slight bit deeper to give him more depth of character and more meaning to the role. And I think that would have worked even more than what they did. Like I said, what they did worked. But if they would have took him a little slight bit deeper, it would have been even better and gave this movie more feels. Because in the beginning you get feels. 100% you get feels. The way they portrayed them in the beginning to, I mean, and the ending, like the way you portray you in the beginning, you get the feels. In the end, you get the feels. It's just certain parts in the middle. You get the entertainment, you get the story, you get the action, but the feels is not there like it should be because even though this is a spy movie, it's a family movie. Like it's really about a family. It's about a family and spies, and so we should get more of that as the story was progressing. But for what they did, it still works. You know what I'm saying? Like it still works, and it doesn't take away too much from the overall arching theme of the story. So as a whole, Kate Shortland, who directed the film, I think did a good job. Did a good job. But just as a personal feeling, as a personal thought, I think that there were certain scenes that certain characters could have gotten deeper meaning with them with their roles. You know what I'm saying? Um, I will say this: Black Widow's character, Natasha Romanoff, Scarlett Johansson. I think she did a great job. It paid homage to her a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But I almost feel like this movie was more of an introduction to Yelena Belova more than it was like a swan song to Black Widow. It still gives her her just due. It gives her her platform, but I feel like there's points where the story was more so of introducing us to a new character that was gonna is gonna be here later on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with it because I kind of expected that. With every trailer I saw, I expected that. So it wasn't really a surprise as I was watching the movie. Not a surprise at all. Um, I will say there is a thing in there that a lot of people have talked about and have an issue with. I understand now after watching it why they have the issue. Does it bother me? No, because the switch or the change that they made works in this story. You know what I'm saying? It works in this story. Now, if it was introduced in another story, I would prefer it had been what the original was in the comic book. But like I said, in this story, the changes that they made works to the certain characters. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't make me mad. I'm not telling people to boycott the movie. No, you can still get what you want to get from this movie, regardless of the changes that were made to specific characters. Um, Without telling you the story, I would just say this: it's a good movie. It's entertaining. If I had to give it a grade, um, I would say the movie deserves an honest B, B minus. Is it the best movie in MCU? No. I mean, no, because clearly it can't be better than Infinity War. It's not better than Civil War. It's not better than uh, Winter Soldier. It's not better than the first Iron Man. But as its own, standalone solo film, it's within the top 10. If I had to create my list, I would say it's within the top 10. Could be at the bottom of the top 10, but it's in that list. And I think Marvel did a good job. Like I said, I wish it would have came a long time ago, you know. But as a whole, it still works out, and it's a good movie and it's fun. So just to sum it up, if you're on the ropes, if you're not sure, if you want to see it, but you don't know if you want to go to the theater because you're still nervous about what's happening in the world, if you can find a place where you feel comfortable and it's clean and you feel safe to go, I would say go, because watching on TV is just not gonna give it. It's just do. You know what I'm saying? It's just not. It's not. Some of these scenes are so big, and some of the action scenes are so big that if you watch on your TV, you're gonna be impressed and like it, but it's not gonna be what's on what's gonna be on the big screen. It's just not. If if you're gonna pay for if you're willing to pay the 30, if you're really willing to pay the 30, and it's, I would say go IMAX or even 3D, because some of those scenes will probably look freaking amazing on 3D. I'm gonna say that right now. But like I said, summed it up. B minus is what we'll give it. I appreciate the movie. I had fun. Um, I hope that if you're planning to see it, please see it in the theater if you can, if you find a safe place. My name is Nonpfixion. Hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, noon, wherever you are in the world today. And I'm just glad to be back in movie theaters. Because what we got next week? No, not next week, next month. Is that 10 Rings? Is next month 10 Rings or is the month after? Oh, Shazam. Let's get it. I appreciate you. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, noon, wherever you are in the world today. Thank you guys for being a part of this family. I appreciate you so much. Like, I really, really do appreciate you guys. Like, I hope you guys understand that. Thank you so much for every freaking thing. I love y'all. I'm out.